and the method is still conventional, is open dumping landfill. And if this method is continued, people predict it's only for the next 5 years. After that, there is no more land to dump our waste. Okay, and then this is the location of our lovely university, Prasetya Mulia. Yeah, there is a lot of expensive house. Okay. And then there are one of the biggest convention center, ICPSD, and of course in the middle is our lovely university. This is the beauty face of South Tangerang City, and this is the other side that maybe we never see it, but maybe we can smell it. I don't know. So there is one final disposal site in South Tangerang City. It's near our campus. It's called Cipecah. Maybe you never heard it. So the population of South Tangerang City is almost 1,400,000 people, and it produces 900 ton waste per day. Okay. And the local government tried to make a small TPSD, is like to separate the plastic and metal waste from the organic waste and from the other waste. And from the TPSD, it will deliver to the final disposal site in Cipecah. And the total area is only 9.5 hectares, and the waste piling, the height is already reached 15 meters. And we already met several times with the Dinas Lingkungan Hidup of South Tangerang City, and they said maybe in the next year we should find another land to dump the waste. Okay, and in the news there are many complaints from the neighborhood, especially about the smelling from the landfill side. Okay. And actually, this social problem from the waste is already talked about maybe in the last decade or maybe 2 last decade. But as usually in Indonesia, the government is very late to respond social problem. But this year, the president signed the presidential regulation, Perpres number 35. So the regulation is to support the local government in the 12 cities in Indonesia, and one of them is South Tangerang City. Okay, so actually for the waste to energy technologies, we should put in our mind that it's not for the looking for the profit, looking for the money, but it's to tackle the problem, the social problem. In this case, is the municipal waste. So the money that we get from the electricity is a bonus. So there are two kinds. Today I will just present two kinds of technology. The first one is an incinerator with pollutant emission control, and the second one is hydrothermal treatment. So the product of the incinerator is heat that we could harvest to produce a steam to generate electricity through steam turbine. And the second one, hydrothermal, will produce a solid fuel that looks like low-grade coal. So there are 4 components that is important in the sustainable waste management. The first one is the feedstock, the waste, and then the tipping fee, the land, and the off-taker. In this case, is PLN. Okay, so we from Universitas Prasetya Mulia got a grant from the Ministry of Science and Technology of Republic of China, together with the ITB and our collaborator in China, Zhejiang University and Zhejiang University of Technology. So we will build a demo plant 10 ton per day for incinerator. So why we make a demo plant is the final goal actually is to introduce this technology to the neighborhood, because one main problem to develop is incinerator is the social problem from the protest of the people in the neighborhood. So this okay, so I will briefly explain this technology. So in the left side is the main incinerator, and the right hand side is the pollutant emission control, because if we don't use the environmental control, the flue gas is contain a lot of toxic gas, especially the dioxin. So if we develop the emittent pollution control, the flue gas that going to the environment will be safe. Okay, this is just when one of our staff visiting the Hangzhou to see the commercial waste to energy plant. And maybe you think that waste to energy plant will be a dirty, but actually it could be nice like this, and in some city in Europe it becomes a tourist attraction. Okay, and then we already took a sample from around 5 cities. One of them is from South Tainan City, and we analyzed the proximate analysis and the ultimate analysis. And the high heating value of this waste is around 6,800 kilojoule per kilogram. And this some parameter that we use. So we don't calculate for the demo plan, because the demo plan of course is not feasible economically. So we calculate the financial analysis for 10,000 ton waste per day. So the operator, because this plan will be continuous, so there are 3 shifts. One shift is 10 operator, and then you can see the manager start 5%, and then analyst start is 5%, 5 people. And for the financial calculation, we assume that discounted rate is 13%. And this is actually from the Press 35. The president already decided the price of the electricity that produced from waste is around $13.35 per kilowatt hour. So if you multiply with the 15,000, it will be around 2,000 rupiah per kilowatt hour. And also the government will give a tipping fee for the producer. It's around 500,000 rupiah per ton. So we calculate the investment for the main reactor and then building foundation. It will be around 1.5 billion rupiah. And then we calculate the EBITDA is around 200. You can see in the bottom, 260 billion rupiah. And then we did the sensitivity analysis. So you can see if the electricity price is around 1,500 per kilowatt hour, it will be it's not visible. But if the electricity price is around 1,650 or up, this plan will be attractive for the investor. Okay, and we also did the sensitivity analysis for the tipping fee. If the tipping fee is 500,000 rupiah per ton, it will be it's not enough for the feasibility. But if around 600,000 rupiah per ton, it will be feasible. So actually, because the time is up, so I will stop here. If you want to discuss more about the hydrothermal treatment, we can discuss later after this conference. Thank you.
Presentation. And is there any question from the audience? Thank you for the opportunity. Well, the question will not be
be about something technical, but as you mentioned that one of the problems, maybe one of the main problems of implementing this waste to energy into reality is the social rejection, right? It's kind of contradiction because we would like to overcome the problem with the smell from the waste, but then they also against the idea of reducing it. So I'm just curious, is there any effort to do socialization to them so that they could accept that this is for their benefits as well? Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so about the social acceptance, well, actually, the problem is from the WAHI. You know WAHI? WAHI, Indonesia Forum for Environment. You know WAHI? So that's association actually the one that always against the incinerator. But actually, because when people saw the flue gas from the chimney, people will think that gas are toxic for them. That's why one of Universitas Pasteur Mulia job when we develop this demo plan, we should gather the people. The local government will have to gather the people, and we will explain how this technology, because we have the pollutant emission control. And actually in China, the emission control already, they have an online monitor, so we can display the amount of sulfur dioxide, the carbon monoxide. So I think if people know that not all smoke are toxic for the health, maybe they will accept. That's why the demo plan is important before we develop the larger scale.
So actually the demo plan is already more cleaner than the before the previous technology. The technology developed in the pilot.
Yes, actually this technology is already mature because it's not a rocket science technology. It's already been used 20, 30 years ago, but it's something new in Indonesia. So actually in Europe, the environmental, the emission control is more strict like in Indonesia, but there are many this kind of plan in Europe. So I think if we educate our people to about this technology, they will accept.
Yeah. So we have to change the community mindset. Okay. I think we are out of the time, so we thank you